see? Oh, I'll just follow the light. Just follow. Oh, well, aloha. How you doing? Welcome to another exciting episode of Hibachi Talk. I'm Gordo the Tech Czar, and I'm here with my good old buddy Andrew the security guy.
Aloha, brother.
How you doing, Retta? Nice to see you.
Very well.
Another fun week.
I got Hillbilly here.
Oh, that's right. You got Mini Drew. There, you bring him into the thing. There's Mini Drew is here in the house making sure. We got Zuri and Emily trying to make sure that we don't, get too messed up over the course of this episode. I want to thank them. And again, so pull up a chair, pull up a towel, have a libation, and join us for another fun 45 minutes. We have a little interesting show today. We have Kelvin Rasmussen coming in.
Right on.
He's from Kamehameha Schools, Kapalama.
He's a tech guy?
Well, we will find out.
Okay.
So he's going to give us an update on what technologies they're teaching him at school, what he expects.
He's a student.
He's a student.
Right on.
Oh, yeah, he's not.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, he's not a teacher.
Good.
And he's going to talk about what he's going to think he's going to need as an employee in the future. And we'll find out what
he wants to. He's one of the ones that wants to work?
Yeah, he wants to work.
I want to talk about this. Will be fun.
For now.
We'll find out how that goes.
We'll see. He's not, he's decided that he just want to have his parents, take care of him for the rest of his entire life.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I know, me too.
That only worked out till like 12.
And you notice where we are right now. How many hours are you putting in a day?
20.
Anyway, it's been an exciting week. There's been a lot of stuff happening with our friend Obama. But before we do that, we got our segment, got one tech job.
All right.
So
what do you got for us?
We got an interesting shot. I wanted to see if Zuri can put that one up there. So remember last week we were talking about the Joint Poll Committee?
The Poll Committee?
Down at the Sitting and Counting of Honolulu. So you got the Joint Poll Committee, and there you got two magnificent polls sitting next to each other. Unfortunately, one is a little short.
But they're both number 12.
I know, and they're both got the same number. So it's really kind of...
They had to fight over who owns poll 12.
And guess what? If you drive up that street, there's a whole bunch of them.
Come on.
There's a whole bunch of them.
What's it for?
Well, because the Joint Poll Committee down at the Sitting and Counting needs a job, and so they got to monitor these joint polls.
Oh, those are joint polls.
Yeah, joint polls, I guess. Anyway.
Where do you get this stuff, man? You're hiking everywhere.
Another example, and you wouldn't believe some of the stuff that some of our fans are sending in now. So we're gonna have some beauties over the course of the year.
So the poll committee failed again, you think, or what's our?
Obviously they're doing something.
I mean, at least their numbering system needs some updating.
Yeah, well, maybe it's 12A.
One could be 12 and 12 and a half or something.
Well, that 12 and a quarter.
Yeah, like a quarter.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
All right.
So anyway,
thank you for that,
Mr. Security Guy, who's always afraid that the world is going to explode.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
I've seen data.
You've seen data. So what do you think about Obama's executive order that he signed this week on the cybercrime?
Well, I think a little late. I think. Maybe they had trouble drafting the word, trying to figure out what would be offensive, what would scare people, what would be effective, what could they enforce, all those issues. I wish I was more of a politician. I don't really know the depth of, what it takes to draft policy and executive order like that. But when you read it, if you're a bad guy, you should hide your stuff. Because I think they're coming after it.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of interesting that when you look at the order itself, it's the Secretary of the Treasury, the Attorney General, and the Secretary of State are all involved in the enforcement or oversight of the executive order. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they're bringing in pretty heavy hitters, and it's not just countries or businesses. They can actually go after an individual.
Sure. No, I think that's the point. I mean, I don't know if it's really directed at currency. I mean, obviously that whole taking the economical approach to saying if it injures or could injure the economy or the economic health of the U.S.
Right.
or its entities, that's an interesting sort of protection. And I don't know if it's been levied before in such a way, but I'm a fan of tracking down the bad guys. I'm not one of them, so I don't worry so much about a lot of the.
Can you prove that?
No, I don't know. I could try.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could prove it against this. The one thing about this, I mean, I'm reminded of, poaching laws, in Kentucky. If you're caught, where I grew up, if you're caught poaching, they'll take your guns, the vehicle you drove there, and it's gone. They can just take your property. And this is the same sort of an idea where they're going to just freeze your assets, and not freeze them, but take them. And I mean, I'm pretty sure you have to fight long and hard to try to get it back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. It's new, so we'll have to follow what's going to develop for trying to defend yourself against this if you're a bad guy.
So do you think they're going to make it retroactive? Do you think they're going to make it as of the effective date that he signed the order, which was April Fool's Day?
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day. he's probably he probably can't enforce if it's pre, but you got to believe they've already got people earmarked.
Oh, I'm guessing that's what I think they were trying to figure out. What kind of tools can we bring? Because we've got, nefarious players at work, right? They've been identified. Some are countries, some are people. There's transaction mechanisms that they know about and want to, I think, use against these guys. And so, what better way to hurt a guy than to get his money or his way of earning or hiding or moving money around?
Or his property.
Sure, if he's maybe traded Bitcoin for a house or something, or whatever.
Well, so that's you're reading my favorite subject, Bitcoins, and we will do a series of shows on Bitcoins in the near future. So, but they can come in, they can seize your property, they can seize your bank assets. If you're an immigrant, they can send you back. So if you're not a U.S. citizen, even if you're a green card carrier, as I understand it, so if you get a green card and you're caught in what they believe in doing cybercrime against business, not just government, business or government or whatever, they can send you back from where you came. So it's a pretty onerous executive order as you read it. But then, like you said earlier, when we get into the enforcement of it, it's going to be really interesting to see how it gets enforced and how it gets challenged and so on. It's not a very long order. It's only like 2 pages. I mean, so it's not like you're into a lot of stuff, but there's got to be a ton. You shrunk it down? Yeah. Well, so I thought it was very interesting, and they didn't pinpoint just government. Now, what was interesting in there is they talked about the electric grid or the wastewater treatment grid and all of that, and that it's anticipated. They think there's going to be a big attack sometime in September on the United States infrastructure. So I think this is part of this executive order is gearing up for that, putting people on notice or countries on notice or whoever. If you're going to come in and come after us, get ready. If in doubt, you're out. And that's kind of like the impression I got. And so we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen on that side.
I think we're preparing to fight in a new way. Under an order. What'll be the lawfulness of those? It's interesting how they'll, you start fighting back, and then people have to decide based on what occurs from the fight,
right?
If it was lawfully done and all. I mean, there's a lot to work out, but I'm glad that we're implementing weapons. I think it takes this type of a leadership. Obviously, I mean, who else sits on top of the nation and says, okay, what can we do? And so there's things people have, there's money people have. Take their money, take their things. Then there's probably the actors that help the transactions themselves, right? There's always been people laundering money. So maybe, I don't know if it's like laundering Bitcoin, but if you're a helper in these transactions, and perhaps you're just providing gateway, infrastructure access to something, perhaps you're a resource of information about something. So, how would you be charged, and what's your relationship to these acts and the malicious actors, that we're trying to protect the country against? And it's broad sweeping. It looks to me like they could come in here and snatch Angus up if he's up to something nefarious.
They don't think he's doing what he should be. Huh?
Yeah. We have to tell him to keep his head down.
He'd be running scared if he had legs, but so he isn't going to be able to do that. So coming back to this and looking at what is out there, I think the first case is going to be the most interesting one. You talk about Korea when they took Sony down. Now, when the Korean government took that Sony information and did what they did with it, is that an act against the United States, or is it an act against Japan? I mean, it's a Japanese company, but it does have American connections as well.
Shareholders,
stockholders, and all those
global,
kinds of things.
Probably.
It's global. So, are we going to become the cybersecurity global police force?
Can we afford to do that? I mean, aren't we policing? Seems like a lot of other things already. I don't know. It's an interesting question.
And it's not like someone turned around and said, "I'm going to declare cyber war on you," right? They're just going to turn around and do it.
It's been going on.
It's been going on. So,
a lot of people said we may be. Sorry to interrupt you. The biggest. We're exporting quite a bit of cyber activity ourselves, so we're not sitting on the sidelines just a victim over here.
That's true, and that's true. I mean, a lot of it went on during the Iraq War. There was a lot of things that came out later that had to do with a lot of things that happened in the cyber side. I mean, it's some of the blogs and things that I've been reading. There's some group that I actually think that he's overstepped his bounds, and he's really going into now with the at net neutrality, which, by the way, you still have a lunch bet with me on that. So the net neutrality law, that went into place, and now with this, I mean, the U.S. government is really stepping into and playing around with what's going on the internet. They really are
trying to own it.
Own it, yeah, and maybe that's.
I agree. It sounds like it to me.
It sounds like they're trying to own it, and that's, if you can't own it in one big jump, what you do is you eat that elephant one little bite at a time, and the next thing you know, you own the elephant. So I'm just wondering if that might be one of the things that's going on too.
Yeah, I think it's surely defensive, and if they want to defend the entire internet, that's fine. But the internet's used by good and bad people, right? So who's going to draw those lines? What are there reasonings behind those lines? When will those lines be a little too far over here and a little too far over there? There's always going to be people victimized by the enforcement of policies,
right.
Who caught, unawares, caught, the guy who receives the stolen goods that really didn't know they were stolen, just thought he got a good deal at the yard sale or whatever, right? So, there's always going to be, I think, that type of unfortunate stuff that's got to be worked through. And the agencies will probably be diligent, but it's a new realm of sort of oversight.
Yeah.
It's who's going to claim the internet and be the internet police or something like that.
Right.
And maybe the criminals have finally done enough work that they've raised their heads up enough that the good guys are tired of taking it, or maybe we're not the good guys. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's also business opportunity here. So we come to the private sector side, and we start looking at the businesses, things that we're in. I mean, you're the physical security guy, and we do some of the software security layers. We're not in the deep dives like the true NSAs and such. But I think there's going to be a tremendous opportunity for business opportunities in that cybersecurity space. And if you can find the right mix of services and solutions that you can provide to businesses to make sure they don't accidentally, tread on this executive order, because they could. You don't know every time you go to a website whether that's the right website or not. You've got filters and things that are doing it, but I remember when www.nasa.gov came out, not gov, .com. If you went www.nasa.com, it went to a porn site because it's www.nasa.gov. And then after a while, when more formalities got into place, they took down that site. That site was not allowed to be able to doing, under the guise of a government entity. Cyber poaching and all those kinds of things. So there's that piece is happening as well. But again, I don't know every time I go to a website whether that website per se is truly what I think it's supposed to be. And we're hoping that a lot of times that's all being cleaned up now, but you just don't know.
The phishing sites. I tell you what I think about is this. So I have information. Gordon Bruce is going to be in Think Tech Hawaii studio at noon on Friday.
Right.
Now, all of our followers know that. Not really necessarily great information, but what if I knew where you were going to be next Wednesday?
Yeah.
And what if I told someone online, hey, you could find Gordo over there? Now, have I endangered you? Have I shared information that's now in violation of policies like this? Or if I say that I saw the jets flying over this part of the island, now, I don't know. I don't know what information becomes protected or defensible or vulnerable, so the person may begin to become an accidental criminal if this digs a little too deep.
Too deep into it. Yeah, I never thought of that, because you could. So if you did hack into my calendar, well, then you did hack into my calendar as to say where I was. So then my interpretation of the executive orders, and then you perform some kind of violation, and boom, they're going to have to deport you back to Kentucky.
Yeah.
So
that'd be terrible.
Yeah, it'd be awful, wouldn't it?
Me and Hillbilly.
Yeah, and you didn't lose your poaching license. Do you need a license to poach?
No, that's why it's poaching.
It's the other way around. Oh, okay. So I don't know. I've never been to Kentucky, but so anyway, so it's coming into that part of it, is how much they take and what they did to get to where you're at. So it's an interesting situation. We're going to continue to watch this executive order, and we're going to continue to kind of give our opinion and opine on what we see happening. And we'll, in future shows, we'll see what's going to happen. But as would be after a few libations, my capacity is now maxed, and we're going to have to take a little break while I head over to the Lua, and then we'll go trace Angus off the beach over there and get him up here. So hang in there, and we'll see you back in a little bit. Thanks.
Here's the deal. I'm Jay Fidel. I'm the host of Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, which is the Energy Policy Forum's program on Wednesday. That's how we call Wednesday Energy Wednesday. We call it Energy Wednesday every Wednesday. Are you surprised? Okay, and we try to get guys like Jim Alberts here from Hawaiian Electric who can tell us what's really going on in energy. We want to be informed. It's so important. It's the most important initiative in our state. Clean energy is major, okay? And that's why we cover it on this show. That's the deal. What do you think, Sharon?
I think that's great. That's why we're here every Wednesday from 4 to 5, and we hope you all join us so we can hear people like Jim coming on our show and co-host Ray Starley from Hawaii Energy.
Okay, Jim, you've been here today. You've seen this. You heard what she said. What do you think?
I think it's a tremendous opportunity for people to come together and talk about the issues. Oftentimes, there isn't a good forum to bring these key issues out into the public, and this is a tremendous way to go about it. And the activity of this show is essential to keep talking about energy because, as you said, it's such an essential part of our lives that we need to pay attention to it and we need to think about the future.
Okay, Ray, your turn.
Well, this is a special time in the history of Hawaii where we're making some pretty radical changes in the way we use energy and generate energy. And this show is the one place you can count on coming to every Wednesday and hearing something about the latest issues that are on the table, being discussed, that will affect us all going forward. So come join us, and if you have some ideas you want to share with us about energy, give us a call and let us know. We'll put you up here and let you talk for an hour. So come see us.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Jim. It's great to be, from Think Tech's point of view, it's great to have this show. We love the show. It's our most important show. So come around and listen to us 4 to 5 on Wednesday. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Inspired by an ancient culture, classical Chinese dance, vigorous physicality, timeless stories, 5,000 years of Chinese music and dance. Shen Yun presents authentic Chinese culture. Coming to Blaisdell Concert Hall, May 8th and 9th. Tickets at shenyun.com or call 808-792-3919.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on the Think Tech Digital Series. The show is every Wednesday from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and I want you to watch this show because I think that when we talk with artists on the show about what they do, how they do it, and most importantly, why they do it, I believe that it resonates within each of us and we find something inside of ourselves that brings us closer to all of humanity. That's what arts are there to do, and that's what I'm here to do on this show. That's Center Stage. It's on every Wednesday from 2 to 3 o'clock. I hope to see you there.
And we're back. Aloha. Welcome back to Hibachi Talk. Angus made it in. Got a little something for us. Angus, what's going on today?
How you doing there, Drew? Nice to see you.
Hey, I got a little text here.
You do? What's happening
Your
there?
McGullible clan. Still,
whom?
still a little irritated with you. I think we got a picture they sent this time.
The McGullible clan?
Yeah.
We know those McGullibles, man.
There you
I
go.
can tell you.
That's what's going to be
Yeah.
waiting for you, buddy.
I know those McGullibles. That's, you know what? We fought you more than 1847. You lost, lad. The only thing you got was that hat. We'll see you soon, I hope.
Uh-huh. On the one day of summer.
The one day of summer in Scotland.
on.
You got it. There
Right
you go.
on.
That's it.
So you
Hamish
got-
McGullible. I know that guy. We'll get you there, lad. Hey, Drew, I got a wee joke for you before we do our tech moment here. Drew, if I had $5 and you wanted to borrow $3, how many would I have left after that?
2.
You're so wrong, lad. I'd still have 5. I never lent you any money. Anyway, Drew, I got to talk about a wee tech moment. Last week I talked about Microsoft and their security and what's happening on that side. Well, there's a new piece coming out with Windows 10. It's called Microsoft Passport. And you know you've been talking about the security and the cybersecurity and so on. Well, the new passport is going to come out. You're going to be able to eliminate your passwords. So no longer having to have all these dang passwords hanging around. So it's going to be really, really cool. You'll be able to, it's a programming systems that IT managers and software developers and website developers and everybody can use. It helps with 10 different security and authentication features. So it's coming out in the third quarter in Windows 10. The only problem is you got to buy more hardware. You know, Microsoft, they just want you to buy. You know, and us guys, we don't want to spend. Anyway, that's what I got there for today, Andrew. And we'll see you next week. And mahalo for my $5. And aloha.
Right on, Angus. Thanks, man. That was excellent. We always appreciate Angus's comments. We don't appreciate him keeping us broke just because he is. So we're going to have Kelvin Rasmussen in here today, a sophomore, I believe, from Kamehameha School. And I think we're going to talk about what it kind of looks like from his perspective to get into the working world a little bit. So welcome, Kelvin. Aloha. How are you? Nice to see you.
See you too.
So how are you doing there, Kel?
Good, good.
Nice to see you, young man. So how old are you?
I'm 15 years old.
You're 15 years old.
Yeah.
Wow, this is 15. And you're going to where?
Kamehameha Schools.
Kamehameha Schools, Kapalama.
Correct.
Okay, wow, that's very, very nice. So we're going to talk about what you expect in school, but we have a new segment that we kind of gave you a heads up on that we're gonna. It's called "You Got One Text Job." You know, so
okay.
you know we're all texting, and you're the texting generation, right? Do you
Yeah.
do more texting or phone calls?
Texting, of course.
Yeah, all texting. So we're going to test Andrew's skills to see if he knows
thank you.
the acronyms that are out there. So we're going to have a running score to see. So you have to tell me as to whether or not Andrew knows what this one is. This is a text, AAAAA. So what do you think?
You should know it. This is pretty easy.
So this is not pretty easy.
One of the easier ones.
Oh, one of the easier ones.
Okay, it means I'm asleep.
No, it's not quite there.
Okay. Do you know it?
Of course.
What is it?
Do you know it? No?
He said, do you know it, Drew?
No, I don't. I
Okay,
have no clue.
so what is it? Yeah.
American Association Against Abuse of Acronyms.
Everybody knows that.
I had no idea. I'm ex-Navy. We love our acronyms in the Navy. Come on, help me
I
out.
bet you didn't even know there was an association out there.
No,
that
I
did it.
had no idea.
Yeah. Is there another one beyond this one?
There can be.
Yeah,
You know that one?
There's one with another A.
No.
Yeah. We'll give you
Yeah.
we'll use it next week. No, we won't do that one. It's the American Association Against the Abuse of Acronyms and Abbreviations.
Oh,
So you
come
got
on.
that one. So
You
there you go.
guys.
So anyway, you got one text job. Obviously you don't
So
yet.
wait, I got no points?
0 points.
And the guest got
2. So and
I'm
taking
gonna lose this every week.
I'm taking the
I
guest.
don't mind.
I'm taking the guest points.
A.
And at the end of the month, someone has to
5
buy
A's.
someone lunch.
Who
So
texts that? Who
Me.
texts A?
the American Association Against the Abuse of Acronyms.
All right.
That's all right. Anyway, so
Guilty as charged.
Kelvin, it's really nice to have you
Thank
on
you.
board. So, so what are they teaching you at school? Any classes in tech, or what's the tech focus in school?
Well, it's mandatory now for us to take an introduction to computer. So you learn your basic functions. You get Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, you get Keynote. So you learn all the different systems that you can use that can benefit you. So you can do your projects easier. You can get a lot more done efficiently. And all of us have MacBook Air laptops. So we all are up to date with our software.
They gave you that like when you came to school?
Yeah.
Like you have to pay for it, or
No,
it's part of your tuition?
I believe that they just give it to us because it's easier than lugging textbooks around.
Sure.
So you
Wow.
get them for all 4 years, and it also goes for 7th and 8th graders.
Wow.
And I believe that kindergarten through 4th grade, they get iPads.
To get them used to it. So do all your reports have to be generated that way? Like there's a format. You can't come in with something written.
It's depending on the teacher's preference, but what
Okay.
a lot of them like to do is Google Docs.
Sure.
So you can't say, I forgot to do my homework, or
Right on.
I didn't do it, because you can access it anywhere.
Sure. Nice.
You
I
could
like
say you had a cyber attack and someone took your homework.
Do
The cyber dog ate your homework.
We have a PRC, so like they monitor all of our laptops constantly. So if you do that, then you're in more trouble because you're only supposed to be doing certain things.
Oh, PRC is what? Is that
Print
your-
and repair center.
print and repair center. Oh,
Yeah.
see, we have that too at my company. It's called Paxa Regional Cloud. So thank you for giving me the opportunity
PRC.
to do to have me do an advertisement. So that's really kind of neat. Okay, so you and all of your peers are constantly using technology all day long.
Yeah.
It's just that's there. Could you do schoolwork without it now?
Math. That's about it. But everything else is textbooks are on our laptops, emails from teachers, everything has to be on the laptop.
Your curriculum?
Our schedules are all on top of our laptops, or you can get them on your phones. It's very rare now that we have hard paper assignments.
Wow. Now, do your parents monitor all that stuff?
How so?
Make sure, yeah.
Good question.
How so?
What do you mean?
So do they like have access to your grades?
Yeah, they'll have personal. We all have a login to our grades and our schedules, our detentions, everything.
Your
So
detentions?
I don't have any, but
Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
they can access those and get those on.
So
Fine.
everything. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like they're invading your privacy by making all of that information available to the higher ups within your family chain?
Nah, it's a good thing because they help us stay on track, so they can just say, "Hey, get your grades up." But it's a bad thing when you want to go out because you're staying home to do homework.
So they know the homework assignments as well?
All the homework assignments are posted and the scores. So if it was a 10-point assignment and you got a 2, then they're gonna know, and teachers can send progress reports out all online.
Wow.
So do you get many 2s?
Of course not.
Good answer. So do you go? So do you have the whole suite available? Do you guys do a lot of spreadsheets? You do like Excel as well?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
So we do everything because presentations in class.
So when you have to do a report, you actually physically you're going to give like a PowerPoint presentation. So they're teaching them how to present. That's just awesome.
Well, that's pretty cool. Now we'll go back a little bit for you when you were in before you were in high school. You were a big science fair competitor, right? How many science fairs did you compete in?
8.
8 science fairs.
Wow.
From when I was little.
How many did you win?
3.
3.
3.
Oh, wow, not bad. You
That's
won
good odds.
participated in 8 and won 3. I'm having hope for the youth of today. So you won in 3. But yeah, it's a setup question because I know that one of them you did was a project you did with Uncle Drew here. So and how did you do on that one?
We won first.
Yeah, right on.
So I just we did a little plug there.
I
Andy.
just supplied some equipment. I mean, he hooked it all up, so that was amazing. Good job.
That's pretty
That
good.
was like 10 years ago.
That was quite some time
He
ago.
wasn't even high as the bench.
Yeah,
Oh.
now he's 6 foot and change.
Yeah.
So you got all this technology at school. You're dependent upon it. What do you see? Can you guess what the school is going to require from a technology perspective in the future? Like, is there anything that you wish you had technology-wise that you don't have now at school?
I'm kind of pleased with what we have because they also give us GoPros. If we have a film assignment to do, they give you Nikon cameras. So everything they try to keep you as up to date as possible. So every 4 years we get new laptops. We get the newest software every 4 years.
Right.
So I'm pretty pleased with what we have. A lot of schools don't have that, so we're very
Yeah, I mean,
privileged.
you're very fortunate to have that. I know Mid-Pac, Mid-Pacific Institute, they have a very strong program in that. We're going to have them on to talk about what they're doing over there as well. So, so this is kind of how far. So you said kindergarten to get iPads.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just I'm saying.
Dude, we're going to be out of jobs.
I mean, I used to love textbooks around, and they were used, and I had to pay for them.
Just did my master's a few years ago. I had textbooks. I mean, I didn't have all this.
So you do PowerPoint presentations, you do all those kinds of things in class.
Yeah.
Do you do a lot of group work?
Yeah, we do, because then we can do Google Docs again, and you can share it with multiple people and the teacher. So it's easier to get work done. And then when you do, you can make PowerPoints in Google Docs now. So when you get to class, you just stand in front of the class and open up the Google Docs, and you can present.
So is school fun?
Yeah, except math.
That's awesome. That's good. I mean, you're having a good time and learning. I mean, that technology advantage is going to be huge. We had nothing like that, and so they'll never have books, or they won't see the value in it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it's just information on a screen, and they just know it's ubiquitous. They can get it and
So-
use it, right?
Yeah. So you're reading your textbooks online, like Kindle, or you have like a book library, and you're going through your textbooks there.
Websites with the logins.
Websites with logins, and you go and you pull out all of their PDF files and things like that, or
Yep,
is it?
and they're all paid for from Kamehameha. So
Wow.
you don't pay for any
Don't-
textbooks, anything.
Anything. Wow, nice.
When's the last time you read a book or like a book?
No, that's such Filipino.
Of what book that is? I don't know.
Anyway, I digress again.
When's the last time? Can you read? Do you find it like I have a hard time comprehending sometimes on the screen because I'm a book guy. Like a book or paper, I can sit and read and make notes. So when I just read off a screen, I don't really comprehend quite as well as with a book. So I'm wondering if he's different. You know, he comprehends well on the screen, but a book's kind of like that's harder to read.
Well, like in English class, we do have hard copy books.
Okay.
So but a lot of the assignments for the online or for the books are online.
Okay.
So we do have hard copy
Little bit
books
of
for
both.
annotations and writing analysis of pages. So
Well,
You type fast? You guys get tested on your?
we do when you get in your freshman year, it's mandatory for you to take a class and you have to get a certain word count to pass the final exam.
Oh wow.
So like 35 words per minute kind of thing.
How'd you do?
Yeah, I think I did pretty good.
Do all right?
Yeah.
You did fine.
He's humble, this kid.
I remember I had typing class. And we had a manual typewriter.
Yeah.
And you have to pull the thing. You don't even know what that is. You know, all the way along. And if you made a mistake, guess what? You had to take this whiteout thing and go inside and hit the letter 3 times and take it out.
No.
No.
Backspace.
Do you know what a record player is? I'm just kidding. Never mind. So now, what do you think? You know, you're getting ready for college. You're obviously you're a sophomore, and you're looking at colleges or anything like that. You're looking at tech colleges. You're gonna be a math major. I can just tell.
Right? I can feel it.
So you're looking at. So what do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, that's a terrible thing to say to a 15-year-old, but it's okay.
I want to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah.
I'd
I
like
like
to be
it.
the CEO of a
Yeah.
Fortune 500 company too. I'd like to be a Fortune
Aim
500.
high.
Well,
So there's
that's-
only 500 of them at any one time, so the
That's
rest
right.
of us would all like to be one.
Right. Well, you know, with all the followers we have on Hibachi Talk, I'm sure at least 80% of the Fortune 500s are seeing you right now for the first time.
Hello.
Competition, nice.
along with Hamish McGullible. So anyway, so you're thinking now, what kind of
What's the
what kind
path?
of university are you looking at? What kind of?
Well, right now I'm looking at Stanford or Portland University in Arizona.
Arizona. Oh, and we're looking at a commercial. So perfect timing right now. So we're gonna head off for a commercial break right now, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. We're here with Kelvin Rasmussen from Kamehameha Schools. Kapalama.
Aloha, Yappers, and a Happy New Year. I'm your host, King Zilly. From inner city out to the platform and now on the Yap Show. It's a new year, and most would say a new beginning. So this is a call to action. As we promote tech, energy, diversification, and globalism, with Think Tech Hawaii, the Yap Show is all about advocacy for effective leadership, comprehensive youth policies, programs, and access to knowledge and information for upward social mobility, especially for the historically underprivileged youth. This means we'll be looking at young people making a difference in their community. Youth policies here in Hawaii, the country, and the world. We want to highlight youth programs that are meeting young people where they are, working together to accomplish a goal or tackle an issue while providing information and access to free educational content for anybody looking to learn on their own time, study for an exam, or simply refresh their memory. We do this by inviting everyday people like yourself, state policymakers, youth advocacy groups, youth programs, professionals, and so forth. But most importantly, we'll be partnering up with my new organization, causeeffect.org. More information on Cause Effect, as this website is currently in development and hopes to feature courses, seminars, tutorials, and conducting surveys that will be featured on the show. As we leave behind 2014, I wish I could say we leave behind issues such as police brutality, youth violence, education, economic mobility, and so many other hot-button topics that made 2014 a difficult year. So what does it mean for the new year? What does it mean for youth policy? What does it mean for Hawaii as a whole? And most importantly, how does it affect you and your community? We want you to tune into the Yap Show at 3 p.m. Friday and find out. Aloha.
Well, aloha, and how you doing? Welcome back to Hibachi Talk. It's we're sitting around here having some libations at the beach, talking with our good friend Kelvin Rasmussen from Kamehameha Schools. I've got Drew, the the security guy with us today, as always. And so we're talking about your soon-to-be CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Can you remember me when you were up there? You know, give me some like low-life little consulting job on the side. So thinking of that, what would you expect from an employer? So you're going to go out into this world once you've finished your university. And I didn't ask you what you thought your major is. I'm just assuming business. But what would you expect from an employer? I'm going to hire you. What do you want from me?
I think I would want a cell phone, of course, because to get in touch with everyone, and a laptop so I could get business reports done or anything necessary, and then up-to-date software, but not too up-to-date where it's not understandable, but something that's most efficient for us to do my best.
Okay. So if a company, you go and you look at there and they've got yellow notepads and number 2 pencils, you're gonna.
Sorry.
It's not gonna happen. All right. So that's an interesting thing. So you got a question?
I just like it that he chose 3 communication tools.
Yes.
Phone. He didn't say anything about an office. I want a car. I want the corner office. I want a view. He said phone, laptop, and some up-to-date software. You know?
Yeah.
Awesome.
What do you think about a corner office in a car?
That'd be nice.
I'll take that on.
Hopefully it comes with the job.
Yeah, I'll come with the job, right? Nice big fat. How about, never mind a car, how about a chauffeur?
You?
I got my new job. I got no one tech job. I no got one tech job. I got one chauffeur job. All right, that's awesome. This is too funny. So okay, so what is your major going to be when you're heading on a? His was anthropology, just so you know.
Anthropology. What is that?
Oh, study of culture. It was great.
Oh.
It was great.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Anthropology, psychology, social sciences.
Yeah.
Probably business. Mine would be business.
It's going to be all the business side, right?
Yeah.
You're going to go for your master's?
Probably.
Yeah.
Get it all done. Might as well learn while you can.
Well, you can. That's great. That's very, 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 very cool.
What kind of trajectory do you see, headed? So, do you think you'll start working while you're in school? You think, start to get some experience out there and see what it's like trying to find out different places to work? Or what's your...
I feel like I'd probably do some internships, but probably have like one steady job on the side that way I can have my own money and enjoy college.
Okay.
And do some fun stuff.
So, is there a type of company that intrigues you, like a Silicon Valley tech company, or an insurance company, or a gas company, utility? Is there any particular investment? Well, if it's investment, get ready for math. So what type of company?
At the moment I really don't know, but that's what college is going to help me with. So
you can just see yourself being the boss, right? You can see yourself.
Boss and happy. With sleep.
With sleep. Well, no, perfect. That one is out. You're the head of a Fortune 500 company. There isn't going to be any sleep. That is gone. It's a misnomer. He's had like 6 hours all week. So.
And I'm not in the Fortune 5 million.
Hey, you stayed awake during the break, so that was impressive. Right. So let's not even worry about that. So Fortune 500. Not sure what kind of the business side. So now you're obviously a local boy, born and raised. Now Fortune 500, you're going to have to move to the mainland, probably.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
I don't mind it. I like going to the mainland. Hopefully somewhere in California because I have a lot of family there.
So well, there's lots in California. You got your brother there. So
yeah.
Are there any here? Are there any headquarters here? Is any Fortune 500 here? Is there's nothing big
there's
enough?
Not.
I didn't know if the Bishop Estate was.
They're not a Fortune 500 company, but they could be. Your benefactor.
Are those for profit by necessity? The Fortune 5 is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're the ones that are traded and
NASDAQ
supposed to make gazillions of dollars.
So we're talking like United Technologies and companies like that. You're talking
GE.
How long do you think it'll take to get to the top?
Yeah.
What do you think how long are you willing to work hard to get there?
As long as it takes.
There you go. Good answer. Good answer.
So let's see.
Most of them guys aren't young.
Yeah. You're gonna be in your. Well, who knows? How old? That's a good question. How old do you think you will be when you hit your stride? Let's say a vice president or a senior vice president, and I don't mean at a bank because everybody at a bank's a vice president. But you think 10 years, 20 years?
Probably my 40s or 50s.
In your 40s or 50s, yeah, so you're up
That's
there.
real reasonable.
That's-
I mean, that's his goals are,
Yeah.
his expectations are of himself are reasonable. You know. That's
So what do they call your generation? Because the generation before you is the millennials, right? And you're the what? There's the Gen X's. So you got millennials, the Gen X's, the boomers.
The boomers.
The boomers. I'm a boomer. Baby boomers from the 40s and 50s. You're a
and
boomer.
63. I was
You're a
right at the
boomer.
end.
So do we have a name for you guys yet? I think they're Gen Ys or something like this.
They're the CEOs, man.
Yeah.
CEO.
So it's gonna be real interesting because I was reading the other day there in one of the articles is that the millennials who are in this spot are having trouble working with a certain age group of employers. Now, here's my question: do you think it's the Gen X's or the Boomers?
Probably the Gen Xers.
Yeah, it's the Gen Xers.
Yeah.
The ones right. You know, they're in front of them. They feel the millennials don't have the right work ethic and all of those kinds of things. So, did they teach you work ethic at school?
With like management and time.
Yeah.
With like work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Very much. We get a lot of or for me, I'm taking a lot of honors classes because I want to graduate with my honors diploma. So the honors classes are just a little bit harder, but you get a bunch of this work and you have to manage whatever extracurricular activities you take, whatever else you do, and it really tests your strengths and weaknesses so that you know what you can and can't do.
So it pushes you. So you're not getting a lot of sleep now either, I would guess. No. Now, extracurricular. What else do you do? You got your obviously schooling. What else are you doing in the extracurricular side?
Well, I'm doing leadership, so I'm on the school board.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm also doing volleyball at the moment, and I was on the speech and debate team this year.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
right. That's why he speaks so well. He did a fine job out here.
So you're gonna run for political office? You think you want to be the governor?
No.
We could say we had the governor, the future governor on our show.
He said the top, so he'd be writing these executive orders for the country.
Yeah,
you know?
right there. We can say President Rasmussen started a Hibachi Talk.
So what do you think? What's interests you about business? Like running a business versus maybe running a nonprofit or running a country or something like that.
I think just having that. I like having responsibility because you have to like be able to lead other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, and you can use it to your benefit, and you can actually help a lot of people with your business that you're in charge of. So you can do a lot of things. So.
The community
I like
service.
that.
I mean,
That's
you've
really
done
good.
community service too, right?
Mhm.
You do a thing. So tell me about debate. I'm intrigued by the debate squad or team.
Speech and debate. I don't know.
Speech and debate team.
It's just- Yeah, team.
Yeah.
Team.
So who were some of the notables that you've debated against? Any things out? Anyone's out? Any unique schools out there?
Say mom.
Mom. Nah, I'm kidding.
Mom.
That's him.
Yeah. Yeah. How have you done with mom? How's those debates gone?
You win any of those? I never did.
I can tell by the way you're looking. She's over there, and he's looking at her, seeing how he wants to respond.
Nice.
Good. They're good.
Yeah.
Compromise.
Compromise.
There you
that's
go.
it. So, but any interesting schools, any neighbor island schools or anything like that that you've debated?
Parker School, Big Island.
Oh, Big Island? Oh.
They're very good. Punahou and Iolani are very good schools. They know a lot. But it's just depending on what the case is and how much information you can gather. So it's pretty balanced. As long as you practice, anybody could win.
But they gave you a particular subject, and then you've got so much time to go off and do your research, and then go debate one side versus the other. You have to pick a position.
How you prepare is they give you the topic. So when I competed, I did GMOs on if they were a benefit or if were they good or bad, basically.
Okay.
So you go in and you're actually preparing for both sides. So you don't know which side you're gonna get when you go in there. You flip a coin.
Oh,
And then
wow.
if you say you call heads and I call tails and it's heads, you get to pick what side you want to be on. And from there we just debate, and whoever wins because you get judged by 2 judges, and there's 3 rounds in a tournament.
Right.
So if you get, I believe it's 5 superiors, you win a medal and you
Wow.
qualify.
No, that's pretty cool. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, you're not going to believe this. We have now burned through another lunch hour.
Come on.
45 minutes, and we've just touched on the surface.
Future CEO. He'll be back on Hibachi Talk when he's making the big
He'll be
bucks.
back when he's making the big bucks. So, you know, it's been a pleasure having you here, Kelvin.
Thank
It's
you.
been awesome. This is
Thank
Kelvin
you, guys.
Rasmussen from Kamehameha Schools, Kapalama. I'm here with Andrew, my security guy. This is Gordo, the tech czar. Emily and Zuri, thank you once again. Jay for giving us the opportunity. And aloha, and how you doing?